Hello viewers, welcome to Express Politics on TVRC. My name is Edo Kumwadedoyin Samuel, and my guest today is Mr. Akintunde Sami Vincent. He's the lead analyst on TVRC. You're welcome, sir.
A player.
And the topic for us today is Nigeria's security challenges, causes and solutions. As regards of the insecurity challenges we are facing in the country right now, we know the state of the country, that we have the issue of kidnapping, banditry, and ritualists and the rest. So we are taking a look at what is security challenges, the causes and the solution to this problem. Yes, Mr. Akintunde, as regards insecurities in Nigeria, where do you think we are?
Well, it's so nice to be here today.
You're welcome.
As regards insecurity, don't forget that so far so good. Insecurity has actually been synonymous to Nigeria. You know, it has become a nightmare in the face of phases of all and sundry. Be it those who are governing and those those that are governed, those that are governing and those that are governed. It has become a nightmare in the face of everybody. So far so good. It has become a cancer that is gradually hitting very deep. We all need, and all that is required now is for it to be cut off so that it won't just kill the country completely.
Okay, thank you. So let's see, what are the causes of this insecurity?
Well, the causes, they are not actually far-fetched. They are what you and I know very well. And one of the causes is that of, I think it's bad governance. Not even I think, it's bad governance. When basic needs of ordinary citizens are not met, what do you think? When those that are leading, when they are just there because of their own personal interests, this is what you see on a daily basis. Another one is poverty. You see, when a man is actually living in an abject poverty, and he could barely feed himself, would always want to do the unimaginable. So poverty is another one. Another one is terrorism and kidnapping. So far so good, you know, the emergence of Boko Haram in the northeast, and how it pushes itself into the northwest, and today it has become the order of the day. And even in the southwest, kidnapping is not left behind. Virtually every time you heard of kidnappers, demanding collecting ransoms, and only little or none has actually been caught. So terrorism and kidnapping is also one of the reasons why insecurity seems very much prevalent. Another one is weak judicial system. Some people have been made deterrent. They've been caught and they've been they are convicted. They've been tried in the court of law. Some people would have take caution and they would have just behave themselves, and they wouldn't want to go into something like that. What I also have is corruption. Corruption culminating with bad governance. You remember back during the Jonathan regime, the Dasuki Gate, that the money meant to get ammunition for the military was siphoned, and oftentimes you had in the House of Assembly the huge amount of money that is being given to the military to get these ammunitions to curb the insecurity. All you see is that all these things oftentimes they are ended up in the hands of private individual. And if you are if you are a military operative, hearing that, you wouldn't be happy. You wouldn't want to risk your life for anything, because the money that is meant for you to do your job is being taken into private hand. Another one, it's unemployment. Unemployment in Nigeria, and the most funny part is, year in year out, Nigeria keep graduating students. You agree with me that number of students that are being paraded for the NYSC programs. Just imagine in all the 36 states in Nigeria, let's say 5,000 in each of the states, or let's say 10,000. Put them all together, 36 imagine the number of youth that will be in the street searching for job. So the unemployment has become one of the reasons when when the job are not forthcoming, youth want to resort into something that is illegitimate, and before you know it, insecurity becomes the order of the day. And before I also wrap it up, another one is poor security systems. When intelligence is part of what should assist the military operatives to carry out their job beautifully, to carry out their work perfectly, but when intelligence are received and nothing is being done, or sometimes when your military, your security operatives are not properly, they are not properly paid. Well, empty stomach will not do anything. You won't do anything with an empty stomach. Or as a security man, you are unable to pay unable to pay your children tuition. Then you think you'll be happy doing what you know how to do best. So this has been one of the. And before I also drop on that point, I would like to add this too. Number one is the porous border system. We have a very porous border system in this country. Look at our borders. The one they have the one that the Lagos the one that leads to Benin Republic, Idiroko, and what of you look at the one with the Cameroon, the Pakistan Peninsula, and just check all our borders. They are very porous. And look at the entrance. Look at forests that leads a country to one country into Nigeria. You will notice that they are all so bad. Terrorists could find their way into the country any day, any time. The last but not the least is the ethnic and religious differences. This has really created kind of a mess of make a mess of this country. It's always people look at this current government. You see the way people will tell you that it's more or less like a Fulani government.
Let me ask you a question on that, because there was one of the headlines for this morning on one of the most popular newspaper in Nigeria. This one says that considering the insecurity state in Nigeria, that President Muhammadu Buhari should not be blamed, that the citizen, the governors, and the reps should be blamed for that, not President Muhammadu Buhari. So now let's take a look at the impacts of what because as regards of this our current president is a head of all securities, right?
Mm-hmm. He's the commander in chief.
But now someone coming out to say that the fault is not from him but from the citizens. So what's your take on that?
Well, I will just say the man actually. Sorry to say, with all due respect, I don't think he understand. He really knows what he's actually saying. He's just perhaps he's saying it out of emotion and sentiment or like for the president. Or, well, in my opinion, I wouldn't want to sit here to denigrate the constitutional authority. But like I said, just put a home, for example. Let's take a home for instance. If anything is wrong in that home, they would question the man in that house.
Yes.
Because the man is seen as the father figure. So if anything is wrong in a state, they will question the governor in that state. And if anything is wrong in the country at large, they will question the man at the helm of affairs. So far so good. Like I said, it takes wisdom to run a country. And if the president could not in his magnanimity or he could not in his own personal wisdom put some things on the right track, then something is wrong. Let me give you a practical example. As a man, you always want to move around with the like minds. The moment you notice that you have a person that is going to definitely, if you're heading towards Lagos, but this person is taking you to Bumasho, or is taking you to what's it called, is taking you to Ilori, it's just going to make your journey, it's going to make a nightmare of your journey. So, but when you have a person that is willing to take you on the right track, on the right pedestal, then the journey becomes very simple and becomes very easy. So what I'm saying is, as a president, the commander-in-chief of armed forces, it should be able to know those who are qualified, trusted security head that we pilot the affair of each department. We meant to have a man that is not a like mind, that is not really following, that is not in your, in your school of thoughts. the moment you have demand there, it's definitely going to make a mess of the system. So, like I said, the box still lies on the table. You need to know those who are willing, those who have the same mindset that you have. You can be an optimist and you have a pessimist as a friend. You can be an optimist and you have terrible people surrounding you. Don't forget the popular Yoruba adage that says, when the soap stays long on the leaf,
Yes.
they all become the same. So that's my only take on
All right,
that.
thank you very much, Mr. Akintoye. So, what are the solutions to all these causes of insecurity
Well,
in Nigeria?
The first one is to solidify our border. This porous border system must be solidified. We must have the right people, competent people. Look at what Donald Trump did while he was in the US, when he created a huge wall between Mexico and the United States, just because he doesn't want frivolous, any kind of unscrupulous element or drug barons or this thing to have their way into the country. Another one, the second one is human development and human infrastructure. All these things must be put in place. There should be an enabling environment. Look at our youth look at the recent Commonwealth game. Look at how our youth performed. They performed wonderfully well. If you know that this is an avenue to make a giant, to build a giant, why not pump money into the sports system, the sports sector, build a wonderful sport facilities all across the country. Another one is leadership development. You see, you cannot give what you don't have. You need to make sure you make a leader out of. You need to build leaders out of ordinary people. Make them leaders, and before you know it, they will all be in one sector, doing one huge landmark, something great in one area or the other. Another one is good governance. We need to have a very wonderful, enough of these people who knows what governance is all about should be at the helm of affairs. And this lies on the shoulder of the citizens. You need to always have this, this brain, this wisdom, this capacity to dictate between a man who is there for his own personal interest and the one who is there who really want to serve. And I have a whole lot of them here. Sorry, let me pick. Another one is economic development. So far, so good. Remember during the recent petroleum product, you could see how the country was in a mess. Why you see queues from queues here and there. It's uncalled for. I think when we have a very good economic team who could champion that area and say, no, why not do this? What if we do it this way, and this thing would actually suffice? Another one is elimination of corruption. I'm telling you, my bro, if we did not kill corruption will kill this country.
But you think that this corruption could be eliminated?
Of course, it could. If not eliminated completely, it could be brought to the barest minimal level.
I'm surprised.
Look, it has become our system. If you are not corrupt, you cannot be part. You cannot be part of the system. It's either you join them. It's either if you cannot beat them, you have to join them. It's a very wrong notion. Another one is building a proactive law enforcement agency. We need law enforcement, those who can enforce the law. Look at Rwanda. Rwanda, don't forget that they just came out of the genocide. The Rwanda 1994, one of the bloodiest genocide in the history of human race. You see the way people were killed on a daily basis in the street of Kigali, and in whole areas in Rwanda. You see the way students were lynched, the way they were just between the Hutu and the Tutsi. But that story for another day. But what I'm saying in essence is they were able to rise up from it, and they are becoming the pride of Africa at the moment. Another one is proper security training. When you have security officers that are not trained, what do you expect? But when you finance your security or architecture, you have a very wonderful security architecture. You have you're able to finance them. You see, they will deliver, and you don't use their money to build a personal house for yourself. You don't use their money to build houses in Dubai. Recently, I saw in the news that one of the former chief of army staff, a huge amount of money was gotten in his house. I mean, it's a very terrible one. Another one is.
But sorry, before we leave that area, the question I want to ask you is this: before the money was why the money was allocated for this military zone for them to for it to be taken care of. Now, how on earth that when this money was missing, nobody knew about it?
That's what we call it. It's a sophisticated thievery. Let me put it that way.
Because the money should be
there's what we
monitored.
call simple. You can engage in a simple like fraudulent act, but we also have a sophisticated fraudulent act. They see these people. They've been able to master the game. They know how to cover their tracks. They know how to add 0,000 to the backs of whatever figures they want to get their money from. This I expect. Anyway, let me just quickly wrap this one up. Another one is appropriate education. We could see what is happening as regards HASU. When you have your graduates that are supposed to be in the broader classroom teaching, learning cultures, learning values, learning virtues, and they are not doing that. What do you think they will be learning? They will learn how to also think. When you are not taking them, you see, legitimacy is a system, illegitimacy is another system. The people that are out to be thinking about something that is legitimate, when you look at school setup, all that is legitimate is being taught in the school. Then what do you think the opposite will be taught? It's going to be in the street. And when these guys are not they are not in the school, they will definitely be in the street. So the point is, appropriate education system, appropriate sustainable educational system is also one of the way out of this mess. And again, finally, is improving the justice system. We need to. Our lawyers, our judges must be well paid. Don't forget, back in the days, we taught the story of the incorruptible judge, one of the literature that we read. A judge who is well paid, a lawyer who is given an enabling environment, they will thrive, and this country will be better off. Because people are going away with crimes in this country. Look at the president of Methodist, that was 100 million was collected from that man. Who has those criminal elements, have they been caught? No, they've not been caught. That of Ogbomoso recently, that man that came back from the United States, those who carry out those dastard hack, have they been caught? They haven't been caught. So people, they move away with Harley. Look at the Kuje prison attack. How many of those people who did that jailbreak, how many of them were caught? None. So people they move away with crimes, and it has become a very terrible situation. And finally, let me just add this one: a proper combination between the legislature and the judiciary will definitely be one of the way out of this mess, because the lawmakers are the one making the laws, the judiciaries are the one interpreting the laws. If they are able to come together, they are able to form a proper combination, they will definitely challenge the executive. They will push the executive to act in the right way, and before you know it, all this insecurity will be a thing of the past.
Oh wow, very good. Thank you very much, Mr. Akintunde. And I know that if all these solutions could be put in place, I know that we're going to have the dream country we are going to have it. But it's a plea to our federal government, the state government, local government, and the citizens of the whole country. It's a collective work. This insecurity of the thing is a collective work that we can get rid of it in no time. And this is where we draw the curtain today on Express Politics. Do join us next time, same station, don't go away. Bye.